everyone, I'm Dr. Duke, and welcome to Political Jazz at Oliver McGee. Each week, we dive into D.C. politics and speak directly to former White House senior advisor Oliver McGee. Oliver, welcome aboard today.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Well, we have a tale of two border posses, don't we? We have Donald Trump down on the southern border and Beto Weenie O'Rourke, as I like to call him, trying to set up shop alongside Trump. Apparently it didn't go so well for Beto. Talk a little bit about the symbolism of these border clashes.
Well, that was a really poor call, Beto, to clash with the president of the United States, who has the bullet pulpit, and he's talking about his signature policy, which is the border wall, but also border security. And then Beto's, who was running in Texas, close race, but he is now sort of trying to position himself for the big dog race, which is the presidential race. And you can't compete with Trump with rallies. He pulls in 8 to 10K people, and Beto's was just pulling in 1K. He was looking more like Hillary than Beto.
You had a huge crowd turn out to see Donald Trump, and they were loud. The music was loud. Apparently, the music even drowned out. It was so loud and boisterous when Beto was trying to talk himself.
The rallies of Donald Trump are like festivals. They're like wonderful political events. And Beto hasn't pulled in that type of moxie or cachet just yet. I think it would be a mistake if Beto ran against Donald Trump in 2020. Because I think he really probably needs to step back and be a little bit more patient and get his organization a little bit better for the national race and maybe make a run at it at 2024. But I know he's listening to a whole lot of folks on the left that are saying, hey, this is your time, Beto. You need to do this. You came so close to get Texas. We can translate this to the rest of the nation. And I think that's just a little bit of wishful thinking. I think if he does decide to run in this big, large field where everybody and his aunt and uncle or is going on to be in this race, in the 2020 race, he will be in a crowded field, and I think he will regret that he did make this run. When you try to run for president, you got one shot to do it, and you need to do it just that shot. The only person who's tried to do it multiple shots is Hillary, and we see how that worked out.
Well, for the last 3 weeks, Donald Trump has been really on point about border security, about immigration. He's down at El Paso with this rally. And I don't think, not coincidentally, over that last 3 weeks, his approval ratings have shot up well above where they were before the new year and the shutdown. It seems that this is a winning issue for Donald Trump by a lot more people in the country than the left would like to acknowledge.
I think it's a fantastic winning issue. I think people did not expect the State of the Union address to be so much of a bounce by 7 to 8 points, but also he's getting the same type of strong support for this border wall. But I think you're going to see another 7 to 8 point bounce on Donald Trump when this do nothing, know nothing, nothing burger Mueller report comes out, because there's no collusion. There's nothing in it. And I think when they do not release the report, because the Democrats do not want to release that report because they want to save Mueller, he was not able to bring the goods. So I think that's going to be about another 7, 8 point further bounce that's going to be sort of a permanent bounce on Donald Trump, because he's had a slight drag in his polls because they always thought there was something was coming on the Mueller report, the Mueller report. And I've been saying time and time again, that's a big nothing burger, nothing burger, nothing burger. But now they're going to hide the report and stash it away into some place in Washington, and no one's going to ever see it. And the Democrats are going to be left with running against a very popular president going into 2020.
Right. And of course, the Democrat Party will hide the Mueller report, and they're already launching brand new Russia investigations that will carry us, I think, surprisingly, right up until the new 2020 election. So it's going to be nonstop. But you're a smart guy. You're a professor. You and I have a lot in common. Let me ask you, how does the left think they're going to sell open borders to the American people? I mean, the charges of racism, the charges of compassion and hugs should only go so far. No one's arguing on our side that legal immigration has to come to a halt. But what is their thinking here? Do they really think enough Americans are going to believe the argument that open borders are a sign of compassion or somehow humanitarianism? What is their end game here?
When you have 20 people trying to be president on the left, it's hard to get 20 people to agree. It's like trying to get a 20-panel jury to agree on a verdict. They can't. They can't agree on a message. They all have been for immigration, border security, a border wall, and they're now kind of flip-flopping all over the place and going back on what they were saying when it was in style with Barack Obama. Barack Obama was a border security guy, and he funded most of what we see on the wall right now. Trying to be inauthentic and then to flip-flop on the other side is a hard message going up against a very authentic president, Donald Trump, who simply came down the staircase and said, we need to get in front of our security for stressed national incomes. He's been consistent all the way throughout. And I think that's going to be very difficult to be going up against a president who is really saying promises made, promises kept, and he's being consistent with that when you got 20 other flip-floppers going up against him.
It seems like Donald Trump's, the core base of his followers, maybe 46 to 48% of Americans who are going to support him no matter what. And what I think is really fascinating is you watch the vacillation. Sometimes he does something they don't like and he'll plummet a little bit, but always 5 to 7 points one way or another, which shows there is a really healthy middle road there that if he can continue to capitalize with, he's going to be very, very formidable in 2020.
You know, Dr. Dew, he has 52% in Rasmussen right now. If he gets that maybe, let's say conservatively, 5-point bounce when the Nothing Burger Mueller report gets stashed away, he's going to be going into election at about 56% approval rating, maybe even 58%. That's very, very doable for this president, given his popularity, his populism. That's going to be very difficult to beat, no matter who they put up. And particularly given that the 20 flip-floppers who are running on the left right now, none of them are standing out as stars. None of them have the media power. Donald Trump has the media power. Every time he speaks at these rallies, the media can't help themselves. They want to make money. They put the cameras back there on him. But they can't find another star that the camera likes on the other 20 flip-floppers on the left. So that's going to be a very difficult race in 2020. And if Beto O'Rourke jumps into that fray, he's going to hurt his chances to even become so-called star that they're trying to make him because the media is not buying him. The reason he didn't have the people out there in Texas for him is because the media wasn't following him. They've kind of dropped him because they don't really. He's not a factor right now. The people on the left need the media to push their candidacies, and right now if they don't have a star, they don't have the media power. Donald Trump does not need the media. He's his own media.
I agree. And, the Democrats have a real progressive left-wing problem in their own party that's going to split them. Oliver, it's always a great pleasure talking to you, my friend. Thanks for your insights, and we'll see you next time on Political Jazz.